As a ministry or as government, there are two avenues available for us to influence economic outcomes. The first is through monetary policy actions, and to my understanding, I'm very satisfied that the government did whatever was available or whatever was necessary to provide stability in the financial sector, stability in terms of continuation of loans, and making sure that the banks don't suffer non-performing loans, but also the borrowers are able to have their loan amortization periods extended and that sort of thing. So from the monetary policy perspective, I think we are quite prepared. On the fiscal policy side, the actions that have been undertaken, and these were greatly informed by research, by collaborations, by consultations. I can tell you that in the ministry there's an economic recovery unit, response unit for the COVID, which is chaired by at the policy level by the Honorable Minister, at the steering committee level by the Secretary to Treasury. But then there's also an executive committee which was formulated with membership from development partners, from the ministry, from different players, so it was multi-sectoral. Now, the work of that unit basically was to look at proposals from different players. For instance, we looked at proposals from private sector foundation, from UMA, from civil society, entities like Setini. So many people contributed to the input of that unit. Now that unit came up with proposals which influenced the budget, and you could see clearly that in the budget speech, the minister made several pronouncements. For instance, on the side of tax revenue, you saw there was a lot of tax relief given to farms, and this was intended to not only ensure that farms remain afloat, but also to provide them with some relief, a relief period, actually up to end of September 2020, so that within that time, for instance, we have VAT refunds expedited. We also have payee deferred. You have things like corporate income tax and presumptive tax deferred. And that buffet is supposed to give them some working capital so that they're able to remain sustainable, continue with operations. And then you see on the expenditure side, like you see, government capitalized UDB. 1 trillion shillings is a good start, but I think we are looking into ways into increasing that loan portfolio in that amount of money in future. So there are so many interventions which you saw in the pronouncements, the budget speech. So as far as I'm concerned, the research, yes, was quite extensive, but that does not mean that it was exhaustive. We still have to look into improving the interventions which have been pronounced, and that will inform the strategy for because now we're beginning to implement NDP3. That will inform the strategy for the coming financial years, especially this financial year 2021, 2022, because you also know we're not just facing current shocks, but there are also other issues. We're going into an election period. We've faced the locust invasion, and there are so many other disruptions. You never know what may come into the future. So we see that there's still scope for further research, and I think this intervention by EPRC right now is timely.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richard Jabo, and for answering my second question, because I was also going to, thank you for answering my second question. I was going to ask you, so you seem to be happy. Do you need anything from EPRC? But certainly you said you do.